Today's craft, we are making a helmet for Glacial Cascade Elementalist. This is Arrow's build. It's the build I'm playing this league. And we are going for this base, +2 level of socketed skill gems, -2 levels of socketed support gems. The modifiers we're going for are from Essence of Horror. This is 30% more elemental damage of socketed gems. Then we're looking for Hypothermia. Also, socketed spells have base crit. And then for the prefixes, we're going for an Unveiled +2 level of socketed AoE gems. This base costs 100 C. It's item level 84. These cost me 24 chaos each. In order to start, what we need to do, we're going to Essence of Horror until we get Hypothermia. To get tier 3 Hypothermia is a 1 in 22. So before we do that, we need to apply Shaper Influence. So we're going to do it like this. So we got Shaper Influence on it. Now we just go ahead and slam Hypothermia like that. 1 in 22. Wait. Oh, there we... Oh, okay. Oh, okay. This is a very interesting point. What we need to do now is we have to annul off the strength. If we annul off the strength, we could also go for an elevation, but I'm too pop for that. Okay, annul, please. Strength 1 in 3. Oh, we lost the... Okay, we lost the 30%. It's rip. We have to just keep going. Increase AoE. By the way, for anyone wondering why we're not using glyphic fossils, they are extremely expensive right now. So doing it this way is considerably cheaper. I'm going slow just so we don't roll past anything. Anything good. Oh, Hypothermia. Chaos res, but we don't want that. I can settle with tier 3 Hypothermia since I'm a little bit POV. We got rid of the chaos res. So now, next step is this. We're going to go to the crafting bench. All right. We're going to craft on. Suffixes cannot be changed. We're not going to use a wild bristle matron because it has an open suffix. It could add on any of the other 3 suffix metacrafts. So suffixes cannot be changed. There we go. And now what we're going to do is go over to the Hoarded crafting station and we're going to reforge crit. So this guarantees base crit on our item. And we hit tier 3. I mean, tier 1. Nice. From here, it is fairly straightforward. What we need to do again is we're going to lock suffixes. So lock suffixes. Okay. And then we're going to use a Veiled Chaos. This has a 1 in 12 chance of filling up the prefixes, which would be a disaster, but then we have a 50-50. So it's like a 1 in 24 of complete cataclysmic failure, in which case we'd have to restart the entire craft. But we're just going to go Veiled Chaos and perfect. So before we unveil, what we're going to bench on is zombies. I think, unless something has changed, this is the highest weight. I don't believe anything has changed in terms of the weightings of the potential unveils. And now what we're looking to unveil is +2 AoE. We've got a 45% chance of unveiling that. If we fail, we're going to have to lock Veiled Chaos again. So unveil. We didn't get it. +2 projectile. This doesn't have that tag, Glacial Cascade. So what we do now, we just take any of them and we're going to do it again. Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. No. I did make a dumb mistake, right? Wild Bristle Matrons are a thing that exists. What you should be doing if you're not a complete Pepega is after you've done your suffixes, what you want to do is go for a Wild Bristle Matron. This is going to add on a Metacraft mod. The only Metacraft mod that is a prefix is suffixes cannot be changed. Using Wild Bristle Matron, these only cost 100. They cost 95 chaos versus 2 divines for using the crafting bench, which is over 300. So using these is 3 times cheaper than what I just did. What I just did was ultra stupid. I even prepared for it and then forgot about it. So use Wild Bristle Matrons. Okay. So suffix cannot be changed. Veiled Chaos. And again, we're safe. So zombies. Block that. And now try and unveil. Should block Fizz Focus? Is Fizz Focus the correct one to block? Oh, there's an error on Crafts of Exile. Okay. All right. Well, today I learned. Thank you. I'm so glad Turtle is here. Okay, so what we actually want to block is Fizz Focus, not zombies. So we're going to attempt again. Suffix is going to be changed. Veiled Chaos. It didn't fill. And we're going to do Fizz. Aha. So King Turtle, whose opinion I trust implicitly, says block Fizz Focus. This actually has the highest weight. Right click, unveil +2 AoE, and we have failed yet again. So now we're getting into like unlucky territory, although apparently we didn't block the right thing. All right, so it's gonna be changed, and we got it again. Fizz Focus and unveil AoE. Things aren't going great right now, okay? Okay, so it's gonna be changed. Just watch this thing fill up now and ruin my day, and then I annul and I have to restart the whole thing. So it's gonna be changed. Did it? Okay. Fizz Focus. And unveil +2 AoE. Okay, Lolcohol about to crash out. Okay, suffix cannot be changed. Veiled Chaos. Nope. King Turtle says Fizz Focus is actually the higher weight, and I 100% trust King Turtle. So if he says this is the right block, then I will do it. So unveil +2 AoE. I hope anyone who is attempting this craft, I hope it goes way better for you than it is going for me right now. Luckily, we haven't... wait, let me not jinx it. Let me not jinx it. When do we start settling? There is no settling. Stuff is going to be changed. Veiled. Okay. Yes! We got it! Hooray! Okay. +2 AoE. I'm happy. I'm very happy because even though that was a little bit more expensive, it could have gone way worse if we had like filled up the prefixes or anything like that. So we're okay. Then let's quickly hop over to Crafts of Exile because we're going to give this guy a slam. We're going to give him a little Exalt. So before we do that, we're going to go to Helmets. This is a Strength Int base, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Strength Int. And then we want to see what we want to block. So I'm guessing it's going to be mana. Yeah, so we're going to block mana and then give it a slam and see. Maybe we get something good. We could hit a lot of cool shaper modifiers. We could hit life, energy shield. There's tons of good mods that we could hit. So let's give it a slam. Luckily, Faustus is here. Flat armor ES incoming. I think we're going to hit something completely unpredictable, like flat fire damage to spells, which is definitely not even a thing that you can get. All right, slam. Damn it. How did you know? Okay, we got armor and energy shield, but here's our item. I am still life-based character. So I'm going to go with life. Perfect. Look at it. It's beautiful. This is giving our Glacial Cascade +4 levels. And we can give it a little bit of a price check. So, it doesn't have quality. Fine, I'll give you a quality, okay? Just 3% though. No more. So, I don't think there's going to be this exact item on trade, but we can check. So, we got +2 AoE, +2 that, and Hypothermia, and base crit. There's some... What the frick? Profit craft alert? Yo, dude, this didn't cost me 80 divines to make. Am I just destroying these dudes' profit crafts right now? Well, apparently it is worth 80 divines, but it only costs us, I don't know. It was probably less than 20. Even though we got a bit unlucky on the prefixes, we did get very lucky on the suffixes in that we didn't have to use a whole lot of these, and we succeeded on our second annul. So it could have gone worse, but I just want to, for the sake of people who are doing this craft themselves, let me just show you something. So I've done this write-up of this craft. If you're playing this build and you want to do this craft, you can just follow this over here. There's some good tips and tricks in here, especially things like if your prefix is filled when you go for Veiled Chaos, there's a few solutions to those problems. And also there's a couple of situations we can get into with this craft that you don't want to panic on. So if you go for your Unveil and you end up like this, you're in an unfortunate 50-50 annul situation where you have to say like, my prefix is filled, I unveiled and I failed. I unfailed, I have to annul. If this happens, this is actually one scenario that could happen. You could annul off the spell crit. If that happens, you just need to go for another annul. What you can then do is go for your suffix can be changed, reforge crit like we did in the first step. There is one other scenario you can get into, which is, let's say we have this, and then our prefixes fill like this. So if we fill our prefixes with a Veiled Chaos, if one of those prefix mods is an influence mod, you can, instead of going for the annul and going for the 50-50, you go for an Orb of Dominance. This is going to remove one of the influence modifiers and then upgrade the tier of another one. So this is like an attempt at failing in a good way. So if we use this, we could either something like that happens, in which case, whatever, we restart the craft, or you could remove this prefix, empty that slot, and increase the tier of like Hypothermia, like this. Now we've got elevated spell crit and the open prefix, and we can continue with the craft. So that's how you do that. Please don't forget to use Wild Bristle Matron. This will save you. I think I probably wasted at least like 8 divines because I did not use these. These are so cheap now. There's so many people farming beasts. Here's the helmet. Holy shit, I'm an idiot. How did I forget I had them in my book?